WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN. ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Man, we breezed through the first hour on this Saturday, April the 9th, second Saturday of the month, which means we bring in Ron Wong on the second and the fourth Saturday. Good morning, Ron, again.
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It always
Saturday
is.
morning.
Yeah, you like to talk
We've
fishing.
had a lot of great guests today so far on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We got to talk about St. Jude. I mean, what's
Yes.
what's wrong with that? Nothing. And then we've had a chance to talk to our buddy Steve Adams for about Kentucky Lake. What's happening up there with this crazy weather?
Yes.
And, of course, our friend John Berry, who enlightened us.
Yeah, he did.
With the sow bug.
Yeah. What's going
fair, or what is it?
It's a sow bug expo coming up next weekend
that's right.
at Mountain Home, Arkansas, where they'll have all the world's greatest fly tires.
And we're going to be up there Monday.
Yeah, we'll be
up in that area.
We'll be up in Gaston's next week for the media gathering. But I love to talk Frabill, Plano, all about that. I know I'll have my Frabill rain gear with me at for next week when we trout fish on the White River.
Great stuff.
But our good friends at Traditions Media has kept us really posted on some great guests. And so, Ben Rand set this up from Plano Synergy, and we have them on today's show. I've got to admit this, and I'm pretty impressed that we don't talk ice fishing much on this show, but I like to talk ice fishing because that's on my. And this is really as I told them, this is no pun intended, because we're gonna talk to the bucket master himself. Now, I don't know if he likes that title or not, but from my good friend Ben Rand at Plano, he says, "Bro will pontificate on the subject of minnow freshness with you." And pontificate is a word I don't think I've used in 15 years on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I've never had
How do you spell that?
Well, yeah, and I've never had the bucket master on with us before, but
but I got to tell you, this is awesome stuff.
Let's let him talk about it. We got Brian, Bro, and it's Brosdahl. Is that right, Brian?
Yeah, actually, they call me Bro. I have a guide service and everything up here, and I use the buckets a lot. Max, Minnesota.
Max, Minnesota. And the bucket man himself. I know our good friends at Plano have come out with a series of buckets, and they're pretty special here. And I want to pontificate a little bit on that with Bro. because when I started thinking about these, they've got these new series for 2016 Frabill's Model 4825 Aerated Bait Bucket that holds 1.3 gallons of water, and you can have a clip-on. So let's talk bait buckets with Bro.
Well, I tell you, there's nothing better than live bait in most situations, whether you're fishing crappies or bass or whatever you're after. And the Frabill bait buckets keep them alive. And even in high volume, if you got several dozen in there, the good scoops when the bait shops do give you good scoops of minnows.
Yeah.
And they keep them alive. And they're jumping out of your hand when you're trying to hook them on the hook. Well, when you throw a minnow down there that's really lively, the crappies grab them. Everything grabs them right away because the real lively minnow catches more fish. And these buckets with the aerators last forever. They could last up to 30 hours on 2D batteries. And it depends on which batteries you put in there, of course. But they're insulated. And the one you're talking about has a built-in aerator, a clip-on bracket, or there's a hose through the lid.
It's just it's $25. I mean,
and you know what? You know what's so good about those, Bro, is I've had a chance to play with them. I've got one, but when you put your water and your minnows in there at the bait shop, you can put it into your car and not worry about sloshing water all over the place.
Yeah.
And,
it's nice for that. And plus, with all the invasives in water nowadays, it's nice to have your minnows separate from your boat. So you can, if you have minnows left over, you don't have to dump them and, check with your state regulations. But you can keep your minnows alive for the next day. Or if you want to pick up your minnows in the evening, you got a bubbler. You can keep them alive if you want to hit the water early in the morning before the bait shop's open.
Yeah, and just when I think back to my first minnow bucket, that's what we used to call them down here, and now we have the bait bucket, I'm sure they're yellow and white, aren't they, Bro?
Yes.
Is that the official minnow bucket color? I mean, a bait bucket color. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
It's been the color of Frabill. They've been around since 1938.
Yeah.
And the old flow-through minnow buckets, you see them attached to boats on the outside. Sometimes you take off with them on the outside of the boat.
Yeah.
But they have them for shrimp, for minnows, for everything. And this is kind of in the same color pattern, just for, historically it's been a great pattern.
And again, we're talking to the man himself, Bro Brosdahl, out of Max, Minnesota, on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, Bro, because you got a fascinating life.
I'm a fishing guide all summer long. I guide for walleyes and crappie, and even bass. We have a lot of bass in the area. In the wintertime, I guide on the ice. I take people on excursions and ice excursions, and we catch a lot of fish through the ice, and it's different. And I get people from all over the country, from Louisiana, from Miami. They come up because they want to experience it.
Yes.
And once they do, it's a lot of fun, and it's something you got to check out. But when you go with me, it's comfort. You're not going to be cold. And I also fish tournaments. I did the FLW Walleye Tour, and now which is the National Walleye Tour. So I fish a lot. Fishing is my living, and I'm just glad to be doing it. But I use the bait buckets all the time because live bait catches a lot of fish.
Live bait catches a lot of fish, and I know Ron knows that.
Yeah, Bro, these bait buckets, too, one of the things that I really like about the Frabill line is you got them in different sizes, depending on what you're going to need them for, too. All the way from I guess it's a 1.6 gallon.
1.3 gallons. That's the one that they're sending me, and that's probably fits me size-wise. But Ron, of course, always gets the big things. So
I got the 6 gallon Aqua Life.
Wow. Okay, that's a big. How many minnows can that hold?
You could put 6-8 dozen in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we put at least that many in there.
You do.
Works well. Yeah.
And it works well. They've got 5 of these. They got the drainer. You know the drainer bait bucket, right, Ron? You've talked about it.
That's really awesome. if you go out to our website, lroutdoors.com, I shot a video at the Bassmaster Classic talking about the Drainer bait bucket. That is really a very unique bait bucket that, where the old days where they were made out of metal, you pulled it out of the can, water went everywhere, all over your pants and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on the Drainer, what's so unique is the water only comes out of the bottom, right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't need a scoop because you drain the water off them and you can grab them without getting your hands wet on the cold days.
That's right. That's right.
Golly.
It's great.
Yeah. And I was looking at a quote here from one of the Frabill design engineers, John Whalen. He says, additionally, the built-in aerator was designed from the ground up for years of solid, quiet, and bulletproof performance. The motor is both quiet and powerful, but in a scaled-down footprint. So that's what I'm looking at, this little 1.3 gallon, which I guess will hold a couple of dozen minnows, at least, I'm assuming.
It'll hold at least that, probably more, because that aeration system, as Bo will tell you, really keeps the oxygen in the water. And that's what's important to keep those minnows lively. And with the little stone that's attached to the hose, it puts in micro bubbles, which is really what's important to keep the minnows healthy and alive.
Yeah.
And it actually gets them really, really healthy. When I mean jumping out of your hands, I've been in tournaments where I grab minnows out of the bucket for the walleyes, and the co-angler can't even grab them. They jump out of his hands into the water.
Yeah. And what size minnows are we talking about here? I mean,
medium to large.
To shiners.
Okay, all right. And Ron, is that what kind of size you use? I mean, primarily?
Typically, right this time of the year, we're using large minnows for the crappie because, most people think that crappie they only eat small stuff, the 1.5-inch, 2-inch type stuff. But I found that I can catch as many crappie with a 3-inch minnow as I can with anything else.
Well, bro, we appreciate you taking time to be with us on this Saturday morning. Tell our listeners, because, we're in Memphis, Tennessee, and if you got I know you say you got a little bit of ice left still up there, but it's not like it was, and I'm sure winter down here is not like we had a 1-inch blizzard that shuts us down, so
wow.
I can imagine what it's like up there. But tell our listeners how to get in touch with you. Maybe that bucket list like me and Ron were talking about would like to come up there and fish with you. How do they get in touch with you?
Oh, absolutely. Come up. It would be a blast. I love it when people come from any kind of distance because they truly enjoy it. But come on up. Look me up at Bros Guide Service. That's BROS guideservice.com. Whether you want to come up and fish on the ice or you want to come up and jump in the boat in the summertime, if you don't want to try your chance at walleyes.
Yeah.
And remember, if you come for a couple days, we can do walleyes one day, bass, crappie the other.
Oh, my goodness. And does walleye not eat good? I mean,
they're delicious.
They are. I tell you, I actually caught a walleye in the White River here recently, and people said, "How did that walleye get in that White River? It came out of Bull Shoals Dam down there somehow."
That's right.
That's right. But bro, we appreciate you, buddy, taking time with us. We got your number now. Tell everybody at Frabill hello, and our bucket list now includes your name. Okay.
Well, thank you. Come on up anytime.
All right,
You're welcome.
buddy. Thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Come back and wrap it up, and we're going to talk about a new sponsor on Outdoors with Larry Ray that we've been working on this for 5 years, and me and Ron are excited. The rest of the team, Greg is too. We're going to come back, and hopefully we can get him. He's a busy man. But David Humphreys at Sportsman's Warehouse in South Haven, welcome aboard to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out all